What a wonderful day to you, great people, great TBCians. Today, once again, I will be talking about our TBC, the billion coin. By the way, my name is Olugbemi Shokunbi. The title I gave to this broadcast is our TBC knowledge, money knowledge. I mean, TBC, the billion coin, knowledge, money knowledge. Do check the registration link that is below this video. I mean within the description field of this video on YouTube, the description field of it. There is a link, so click on the link and that will take you to the Kringle Cash registration page. I included in that description field of this very broadcast video my email address, my WhatsApp number, my Telegram ID, and those are actually included. That is if you find a need for you to reach me either for questions or clarity on certain things that you may want to know about. I made this broadcast to clear the air on some questions and thoughts that some of us TBCians have as regarding our currency TBC, which are not really true. So in a particular forum which I belong to, some TBCians were discussing their grievances as regards their expectations that were not met, or which are yet to be met as per their desire or their projection of the coin TBC. So these are thoughts could also be thoughts of someone that is outside there watching this broadcast right now. The fellow may also be having such a thinking going on within him. So here are the right perceptions needed to give to such thinking. So I've actually extracted the statements or the rights up of those people, I mean those TBCians, what they wrote which expressed their grievances. So I made a little compilation. There were actually many, but I was able to get like up to 8, and I will read those to you. So and I will as well give my own answers as to clear the air as regarding their thoughts and what they felt, which is not actually the right thing or the way they should see to TBC. So one of the statements made is here. Number 1 says, and I read, I remember paying $10. I remember paying $10 for the admin fee for quite long now, yet TBC in my wallet has not seen the light of the day. The most powerful currencies in the world also fluctuate: crude oil, gold, and others. In order to make some crypto value, then why do we not have TBC also in the coin market cap list? That was the first one. The other one says this, that every Monday we talk about cruises, we talk about a broadcast as if these things are adding to the value of TBC. Point number 3, or rather statement 3 here, this one state this, that can I drop $100 Bitcoin and you give me more TBC? And he proceeded by saying also, can I give you 10,000 TBC and you give me Bitcoin? And he answered no. So I am just buying more TBC, no value. That was his own conclusion. Another one here says, yeah, but aside that, after paying the said coin, after paying with the said coin, I should enjoy the coin I paid for, that is TBC. But nope, the only way attainable to get a cash from TBC is to convince someone about a coin that has no value to buy at least $100, which it will be a miracle if such a person buys. It means that a TBC member can sell ice to the Eskimos or to the prospects that are clueless? Or is there another means apart from paying more cash to get value for what you already have. And he concluded, he said, pathetic. So another one here says that the TBC leaders are funny. They said TBC is the best and they are collecting Bitcoin, Litecoin and Ethereum for lifetime wallet stuff. That was his own observation and let me say grievance. Number 6, this one says, it was actually chatting with someone on the forum, and he says, bro, show me a site that is accepting TBC for Bitcoin. And then he mentioned certain other things. I actually omitted those, and he continued here by saying, we are all giving TBC out to get more Bitcoin. In the real sense, we are not adding value to TBC, but showing the world that without Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, TBC cannot stand alone for other coins to come to TBC. Number 7 here says, the admin of TBC keep eating the $10 fee and they keep saying TBC is gold. Can't I say gold? Why can't we exchange our TBC? And he said no. And then no one is going to approve TBC. It is a big scam. Well, TBC is not a scam. You are outside there watching this broadcast. I'm telling you with the whole of my mouth, TBC is not a scam and it's not going to be a scam. So I continue with what the fellow wrote. I guess everyone is under a huge TBC spell because everyone keeps saying TBC, TBC, this, that. How will one coin hit such millions of dollars yet no cashing out? And the last which I have here, this one says there is no TBC store accepting 100% TBC. You have to pay something. Imagine I have 5 bitcoins and I want to exchange. I know where to go to, but for TBC, no, I don't. I will merry-go-round exchange sites, that is merry-go-round exchange sites, TBC store to pay for card today, pay for admin fee tomorrow. People are getting fed up. That was his own conclusion. So to all these expressions made by these fellow TBCians, and yourself watching me right now, being a TBCian or not, maybe you came across someone who mentioned this to your hearing, or you also have such a thought or feeling going on within you. So here are my own reactions to these various expressions by these individuals. All right. Note that if truly these TBCians, if they know about money and they know about the workings of money, they wouldn't be saying all that. They would rather be happy about the system of TBC and work in line with the admin's instruction. I mean the TBC's admin's instruction, which is in the likes of the fast start system and the cash flow system. I mean those are the system by which a new intake gets to be trained to understand what our TBC is all about and the steps which he needs to follow in order for him to become successful in TBC. Now, let me ask a question. How did the Chinese yuan made it to the IMF currency reserve basket? IMF is actually the International Monetary Fund. So how was the Chinese yuan able to make it to the IMF's reserve basket, which right now, I mean yuan, which is currently threatening to displace dollar and gain fiat dominance globally? And what a yuan is actually the currency which they spend in China. That is the name of the China currency. The way it happens that the renminbi is the official currency of the People's Republic of China. The yuan is just a basic unit or the basic unit of the renminbi, but yuan also used to be referred to as the Chinese currency generally. So what I'm saying is that the units of a Chinese currency by the name renminbi is yuan, but when we talk about yuan, we refer to even the bigger currency, which is the renminbi. So whenever you hear yuan, generally what people refer to is the Chinese currency, even the bigger notes, apart from the units of it. So having mentioned that to you, know that to the financial experts of the People's Republic of China, it's not by denying that the dollar is there and that the dollar is strong. It is simply by working with that very strong dollar to gain relevance and acceptability in the sight of the IMF, that is the International Monetary Fund. It happens that the International Monetary Fund is an organization of 189 countries, which is working to strengthen global monetary cooperation, to strengthen and secure financial stability across the globe, to facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and to reduce poverty across the globe. To the China financial experts, they were able to show to the currency users and the currency regulators that they, that is Chinese, and their currency have the advantages that the dollar doesn't have, despite the strength of the dollar and even the dollar's global dominance. And that was the reason why IMF, the International Monetary Fund, brought them into the currency reserve basket. And note that today, even Nigeria has entered into the currency swap deal with the Chinese yuan. And by that, does that now mean that dollar is no longer there? No, dollar is still there. So my viewers watching this very broadcast, know this, that no true crypto fellow, no true crypto guy or any crypto group will tell you that a big Bitcoin is useless. As a matter of fact, you must leverage on the advantages of a Bitcoin to actually achieve your global dominance. I mean, we in TBC, we TBCians, we need to leverage on the fact that there is a Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is actually gaining dominance, and by that we work with the strong Bitcoin to also gain the global dominance and even surpass that of the Bitcoin. So when someone was saying that the TBC leaders are funny, they ask you to pay the $10 admin fee, and they are asking you to pay using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the like. So the fellow is wrong. So Bitcoin is before TBC, and we need to recognize, we need to reckon with Bitcoin for us to also gain dominance. So be glad about your TBC. Hold on to your coin, because something huge is actually about to happen to mankind, and that is going to be from TBC. Note that when TBC makes his statement of dependability, even the likes of Bitcoin and other market coins owners will want to exchange their coins for TBC or TBC Kringles. Remember that 8 years ago, nobody thought that one could actually agree to exchange his dollar for Bitcoin or any sort of a crypto-based money. But today, look around, you can see yourself, and it is very glaring. Practically everyone can see, and there are lots of Bitcoin machines which are being installed across the world altogether. We need, we TBCians, we need to get this straight. We cannot just act like we are wiser than the TBC admin and wiser than every other financial expert that is actually associated with TBC. An illustration to buttress this point is seen in the construction of buildings. Note that all buildings may be built with sand, being built with gravel, iron rods, cement, and all the likes, wood, etc. But their building pattern and duration is completely diverse. The way, the pattern and the duration for completion of such structures diverse. Some of us are TBCians, we are literally asking the TBC admin to roof the TBC building, even while we are still at the DPC level. What I mean by DPC level is a damp roof cost level, and it doesn't work like that. Again, trying to explain that further, when a building is under construction and it has gotten to what is known as a DPC level, what that simply means is like is at the foundation stage or foundation state, or it has just come up a little bit from the ground. And as at that level, if such a building is a waterlogged area, so if the building is not properly raised beyond that ground level, then there is a phenomenon known as a damp rising, in which water from the ground will be entering into the blocks and then coming up. And that is just a scenario which many of us outside there is asking the TBC admin to do. That is, as at that level of our TBC structure, then the TBC admin should roof it, and it doesn't work like that. As we all know, and this is simple, all we need to do is follow the instruction of the TBC admin, and we need to join hands to build the TBC community. We ought to understand also that a lot of people have actually they've been thrown into great debt just because some people have access to manipulate Bitcoin price to the detriment and disruption of other investors. Note that TBC is the only cryptocurrency that is free from the elites and the government forces of manipulation. TBC is the only cryptocurrency that is mandated to end poverty in the world. TBC, the Billion coin, is a community and user-based coin, and note that we are actually getting there, and not just getting there, but we are getting ahead gradually and surely. We need to upgrade our financial knowledge, not making careless statements, in that we ought to understand that our future is at stake. Our financial future is also involved. And looking carefully into some of these big exchanges that we keep hearing here, there, which are actually rising up practically every day, you need to get to see that a majority of these markets are dying out and are actually being suspended from exchange, simply because nothing is actually happening with them, and something is not, or rather let me say something is not right as regarding their formulas or their structures. However, TBC has been constructed or has the best and the strongest formula, and that is why it is still proving to be the master of stability. Note that TBC is totally different. It is on a unique path, and it is actually making great progress. TBC right now wouldn't have an exchange because it is peer-to-peer. And I will also advise that you read the history of Bitcoin. It started being peer-to-peer, just like we have in TBC right now. And understand that many exchanges were available, or rather are actually available for TBC, for Bitcoin right now, which was not in existence when Bitcoin was first created. It was just peer-to-peer. Sometimes in the past, some early Bitcoin users lost their faith in the Bitcoin and eventually actually lost their coin, such that today, if you get to meet the fellow, you will understand that they are actually crying bitterly. And we advise that you should not allow yourself to be caught on the wrong side of the history. I learned of a guy in his first exchange of a Bitcoin that used 10,000 pieces of a Bitcoin to exchange for just two pieces. Just two pieces, which is going to hit. He exchanged that using 10,000 pieces of a Bitcoin. Imagine that. We all know the price of a Bitcoin right now in comparison to dollar, and as at that time the fellow used 10,000 pieces of his Bitcoin to exchange for just two pieces. So it was peer-to-peer, and that exchange took place. I mean, the guy, when he exchanged, it was also peer-to-peer, and the exchange took place because the owner of that Bitcoin did not attach much importance to the Bitcoin which he has, and was willing to give so much for just 2 pieces. So yourself that is watching me right now, I want to believe you can imagine the tears that will be in that man's eyes today, because he could not see beyond his nose, and that was the reason why he gave her so much of his Bitcoin out for just 2 pieces. So do not let the history or the story of that guy be repeated in your own life too. And I will advise that you should try not to be clueless as concerning the TBC which you have in your wallet. Do not let history repeat itself on the wrong side as concerning your life too. So you need to hold your TBC tightly, and you need to value it. It's of a higher value, and you need to take it so you are required to invite people, and this is actually the part of getting people out of poverty. This which you need do in getting people to TBC, in getting people out of poverty, is actually TBC mandate, and likewise is also your mandate. Note that if all of us stick to our coin, then understand that we will get much value for it, even in the nearest future to now. And what some of us complained of is just like a scenario in the Bible of 12 spies that were sent to Jericho to inspect the promised land by the Israelites. I mean by the leaders of the Israelites, which were Joshua and Caleb. Note that why 12 spies went, or why 12 of them were sent, it was 10 that came back to say it was a mission impossible. As a matter of fact, they were like grasshoppers in the eyes of those people living in the city of Jericho, and that was what the 10 spies that went, I mean 10 out of 12, that was the report they gave. And in the midst of that very damning report, it was just only 2 of the spies that came back to Joshua and Caleb and give a different report that it was possible for they to actually take down the city Jericho, because God actually said so. Now imagine this, that if the Israelites listened to the 10 and went back, would they have gotten to the promised land? No, it would not have been possible. Note that our TBC, the billion coin, is on a journey, and we cannot know more than the vision bearer. Besides, TBC admin is actually doing a very great job, but like a child, some of us wouldn't agree that mommy is in the kitchen until we see a bowl of soup before us. We need to believe and to keep the spirit flying, work with the mandates of our TBC. First thing to give to an ignorant mind is not money, but education and enlightenment. An educated and enlightened TBCian is a powerful member of a TBC community and will remain so. As I always say, understand that TBC is genuine, TBC is real, and TBC is actually changing destinies. TBC is changing lives for good. TBC, the billion coin, is people's money, and TBC is actually a disruptive technology, and it is here to cause a shaking to the foundation of those things we know before now. It's here to cause a shaking to the norm of government being in the control of money. TBC is actually here to change the order of money and release your right of money to you. I mean your birthright of money to you, and that is releasing money in abundance into your hands. Do check out the link below this video to get yourself registered for TBC. I will advise, if you have not yet joined the community of TBC, do that quickly. Come on board, join the community of the billionaires. And as I used to end my videos, I will say to you once again that abundance, peace, TBC the way. Thank you for watching.